A Hardy Annual, Daryl Hall. Good to see you again, Daryl.
Time's up.
This is my inaugural presentation to this council.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. I'll make a few brief points, particularly for the public who are interested but haven't been able to read the submission. I'm responding to the call for ideas to reduce or cut services to reduce rates, particularly in regard to community funding. Cholmondeley Children's Centre provides free short-term planned or emergency respite care for children aged 5 to 12 in Canterbury and has been doing this for 100 years. We are 80% funded by the people of Canterbury, so as long as Canterbury wants us, we exist. Me, I've just been GM since November. I had also served on the board for 5 years and had 3 stays at Cholmondeley in the 1970s, and now in my wider family we also have a child who is at Cholmondeley. The main point of my submission is to urge you not to cut community-funded services this year simply to reduce rates. I give reasons, which I summarise as a small cut to an organisation can lead it into terminal financial decline. And while every rates dollar does matter, small cuts can't deliver material rates reductions, but can deliver high costs to the city if an organisation is put into terminal financial decline. And it's just difficult to know those trade-offs. So it's better to do them strategically, not by producing a document per se, but following a process leading to decisions that deliver change. I propose that election year is typically a suboptimal time for nuanced debate. I propose that you do go through a process post-election leading into long-term plan decisions. So I think there are valid questions. It's just a matter of timing for me, for Cholmondeley. Lastly, I state that Cholmondeley knows it would have to justify its services and funding in such a process. However, I am certain that Cholmondeley and our city benefits from a democratic, evidence-based approach. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Okay, Samuel.
Hey, thank you, Daryl. It's always good to see you. I'm just wondering, obviously we have some financial pressures as a council. Do you want to just talk through, or if you can offer a view on how other external agencies are funding you? So I know we've talked in the past when you're working at council, in terms of different organisations like RATA or community trusts and things like that. Do you get much in the way of support from RATA?
Let me put that in a perhaps neutral policy context. RATA holds community funds to allocate for community purposes, so does council. Council has attractive democratic features that RATA lacks. Your briefings and decisions are in public. You do have to justify your decisions both to meet your statutory democratic obligations and the media oversight you enjoy. Council is subject to the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act, so any person can find out if anything untoward is going on. So no, we are not getting funding from RATA, but the main point from policy processes is the process really matters, and I suspect, and I hope at this time that becoming more democratic is much more valuable now than ever.
So can I take from that that's a no, you're not getting much out of RATA?
That would be zero.
Zero out of RATA.
Yeah, and that could be fine if there was a democratic public process that led to that people could interrogate. You will make hard decisions, and our organisation could suffer from that too. But it will be done in public, and people can understand why you've arrived at that decision, and that's really, really important.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Celeste, please.
Thank you. Would you say that you're noticing an uptick in the level of demand for the service that you guys are offering?
The problem is, since that I've created, since I started, is I've been very determined to communicate that we're a Canterbury service. We're not a Christchurch service. We do quite well for the Waimakariri. We don't do as well for Selwyn, for example. and so I'm determined to fix that. That means I'm stimulating demand at a time when funding is under pressure. Just to be very clear, I'm not asking for an extra dollar at all, not doing that. I'm much more focused on the democratic process and the timing of any conversation that leads to decisions.
Very good. Mark.
Thank you. Just hearing that you're a Canterbury service, do you get funding from other Canterbury councils as well?
We do actually, and from local organisations, Lions clubs, charities that are based, for example, in South Canterbury do that. So it is pretty broad based, and businesses actually, and corporate entities, individuals. We just had a event with Meadowbank out Leaston Way over the weekend. Fantastic. Yes.
All right. All good. And as we've said, it's always very good to see you, Daryl. And my staff in my office went over to see you a couple of months ago, to see what you're doing, and it's outstanding. Anyone who thinking about having a look at Cholmondeley and seeing what the wonderful work they do there, it is outstanding. So congratulations.
Thank you, and people are always welcome to visit, kick the tyres, see for themselves. And so concludes my inaugural presentation of this council.
And you're right, it is 100 years since you opened. Yanni, have you got a quick question?
I mean, just obviously there's been some discussion about community trust funding. Was just trying to be clear. Have they previously funded Cholmondeley and just cut the funding, or is it just something that's always been a struggle? And then the second question, and feel free to choose which when you answer or how, but is if the children that you're looking after were making submissions to us today, what are the sorts of things you think they might be saying?
Well, this is actually much more about council, and I think one of the joys you might face is that should central government look at RATA, look at their purpose, look at your purpose, they will, well, why don't we bundle them together? Because you do a really good job, and the problem is, I know because I've seen the inner workings, I've met the staff, I've got great confidence in their empathy and their practicality at the same time. So I wonder why there is a need for a separate organisation, and whether that's actually a core role of local government. And I look at Councillor Kewen as I say that and wonder if I've maybe invited another question.
We're all good.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Very good indeed. Okay, Brad, please.